Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United lose 2-0 to Burnley, and I say this with real regret, but I have to say it. It's time for Solskjaer to go. It's definitely time for Woodward and the Glazers to go. That's been going on for way too long, but it's time for Ollie to go. I mean, this ultimately, enough is enough. Enough is enough, isn't it? Like, you know what? So many things are pissing me off right now. And I said this before the game, and it might be very minor to a lot of people, but I said it before the game, so I'm going to say it right now. Bruno Fernandes could have easily been a United player tonight. If we had beaten Burnley like anybody would, we'd be 3 points off top four. And then Chelsea have got to play Leicester, us and Spurs in their next 3 Premier League games. Top four, for the millionth time this season, even though we don't deserve it, was back again for us. And we've blown it today. But this is where, I'll talk about Solskjaer in a minute, but this is why Manchester United, even if you change the manager, we're still screwed. Because we have got owners, right, who are arguing with Sporting Lisbon over £5 million bloody pounds. £5 million for 2 weeks. They've been saying we don't want to pay another £5 million. They want to pay £40 million for a £60 million player. And they won't go any higher because we are tighter than a duck's arse in a sandstorm. We won't pay the bloody money. But the worst thing about this is we won't pay £5 million, right? He could have been playing tonight. He should have played against Liverpool, but he definitely should have been here for tonight. The player wants to come. Sporting Lisbon wants a reasonable price. It's a seller's market, and we won't pay an extra £5 million because we're a bloody business and not a football club. And tonight, they're not even a business anyway. Because if Bruno Fernandes had played tonight, we would have won that game. He's that good. We would have won the game against Burnley with Bruno Fernandes. And we maybe then would have gone on to get in top four. And if we got top four, we would have got 50 million for being in the Champions League that we won't get in the Europa League. So that 5 million means sod all for what a player could have done for us in relation to a business revenue stream, right? But our owners are so thick. They don't even understand football, but they don't even understand bloody business. If they'd got him in tonight, we probably wouldn't have lost that game, and we probably could have got top four, and then we would have made that little minuscule 5 million that you want to keep in your own pocket for your own bloody dividends that we give you in the first place. That's what pisses me off the most about the Glazers and the Woodward, is the fact that they bought the club on debt. They bleed over £1 billion out of the club. They've never put any of their own bloody money in the club, and everything they take out of the club is our bloody money. It's a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. From top to bottom, that football club, apart from the fans, is a joke. And every single player's a joke tonight. I tell you what, Anthony Martial's my favourite player. That's one of the worst performances I've ever seen from him. Everybody from top... I think the one thing I would say about tonight is I don't think there's a United fan out there that can find an angle to go, give him time, everything's fine. Oh, let's give it a little bit more. Oh, if they get Bruno Fernandes tomorrow, it'll paper the cracks. The club from top to bottom sold itself perfectly tonight. Shit from top to bottom. Nowhere near. We're a big club in name. We're Manchester United in name. I've never known it as bad as this. And I'm not old enough to remember the 70s or even most of the 80s, but definitely... from the late 80s to now, this is as bad as it's ever been. It's crap. Absolute shit. And the only reason we've woken up to this tonight is because so many other teams around us are crap. Chelsea are crap, and they've allowed us to pretend that we're a top four club. We're atrocious. We're absolutely atrocious. And I tell you what, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer... I need to calm myself down. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you will always be a legend of Manchester United. I will always like you. I will always love you because you are a legend as a player. But it is time to get out. And if I tell you what, I would love Solskjaer tonight to resign. I'd love him to resign and tell the bloody truth. In 2006, you were against the Glazers. You were publicly against them. Tell you what, mate, you're never going to be a Manchester United manager. You're never going to be good enough. The best bit of advice I could give to you, resign and just do a tell-all and say, look, I love Manchester United Football Club. This club's a joke. Maybe I wasn't up to the job, but this is what's really going on. Because something really is going on at that club, and it needs to be a tell-all. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could save himself that way. He won't. He'll stick by it. He'll probably come out with some stupid comment again, and he needs to go. The coaching is abysmal. We're losing 1-0 at half-time, right? We're losing 1-0 at half-time. We should be winning. We had 3 chances. I totally agree with that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could come out after this game and say, you know what? We're losing 1-0 at half-time. We could have been winning that game. I agree. I actually agree. Martial and Mata should have scored. We should be winning at half-time. But footballs are like that. It's fine margins. Whose word's that? You never know. It's fine margins. So, all right, we're losing at half-time because it's fine margins, Ollie, right? What did you do at half-time? 45 minutes at Old Trafford against crappy Burnley. Bit of an injustice you're losing. All right, I'll give you that. Plenty of time to turn it around. What do? You lose the game 2-0 and you create sod all. We created nothing in the second half. We were worse 1-0 down than we were 0-0. We were crap. Second half was a joke. We created nothing. There was no plan A and there was definitely no plan B. Created absolutely nothing. So anybody who wants to defend Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now, to be honest with you, I never wanted to say this, but he's got to go. He's got to go. He's not good enough. Carrick's not good enough. McKenna's not good enough. Phelan's not good enough. It's just work experience boys that we all like, and they're not good enough. The coaching's crap. The players just don't respond to it. I mean, for 20 minutes, Burnley are 2-0 up. They just sit there with everybody on the edge of the box, and all we do is go side to side to side. Shall I have a shot, or will I get booed for having a shot? Oh, I'll have a shot. No threat. You're meant to be able to carve your way through teams. This is Premier League football. Get the fucking fullbacks overlapping. Get people in the box. Do triangle passing. Do something, but don't go side to side. It's Burnley, for God's sake. All right, they're well organised, but they're shit. I mean, let's be honest, but we're even worse. We are even worse. And I tell you what, the club is in a mess. Reset button needs to happen. Everything... the owners, the chief executive, the recruitment, the medical staff, most of the playing staff, the coaching staff, it all has to go. It all has to go. But it's not going to happen. The bad thing is this is not going to happen. And you know what? What I would say to everyone in the live comments is, if you want rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what do you do? What do you do? Because if you replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with Pochettino, he doesn't want the job till the summer, but won't get the money. There is a rumour that Pochettino has been spoken to by United, but they've said you're not having a director of football and you're not having control of the transfers. So forget it. It doesn't. I'd be like, up yours. If I was Pochettino tonight watching that, I'd go, up yours. I'll have a job at bloody Sevilla. I'm not having that job. I would advise any Manchester United, any future Manchester United manager worth their salt to not come near it. Because we've seen Mourinho think he can do it. We've seen Van Gaal think he can do it. You can't do it. You can't do it with that ownership above you. They are tightwads. They are only bothered in taking money from the fans and brands. That's all they're bothered about. They're not bothered about being a successful football club. They are leeches. They are vampires. They have sucked the life out of this football club. They've sucked the enjoyment out of it, and they are sinking us to the depths of despair. That is what has happened at Manchester United. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, look, you know, for 3 months it looked like it would work. You don't even play that way anymore. You don't even play 4-3-3 anymore. It's a joke. And Rio Ferdinand, Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, everybody else who wants to pretend that, you know, he's the man and give him time, you are lying to yourselves. I don't even need to get angry with you. You are lying to yourselves. Maybe it's because you want jobs in the club. Maybe it's because you're protecting a mate. I respect that. But you are lying to yourselves because you know, as much as everybody else knows, he ain't good enough. Carrick ain't good enough. They're not coaching. You know, Manchester United have had so many good players over a 30-year period where they were amazing. How many of them are top managers? And how many players played as part of those? You know, Sir Alex Ferguson had 4 great teams. How many of those players from that great team are great managers? None of them. None of them are. So just because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a legend of the club, we're meant to go, oh, he'll be a great manager. He's got as much chance as anybody else, and nobody else has done it. He's not good enough. And the best thing about this, the worst thing about it as well for Ole, is that he comes out with silly things like, you know, Liverpool, that, you know, we lost better than we did last year. It shows we're making great strides. Everyone thought it was a stupid comment. 3 days later, it's buried as a stupid comment. What can you possibly say after losing to Burnley when you've just said after losing to Liverpool we're making great strides forward? It's just... It's time to go. It's time to go. It's as simple as that. Smash a like on the video if you agree, but it is time to go. It is. It's time to go for Ole, and it can't stop there. It can't stop there. Ideally, what I would like to see is somehow Solskjaer manages to just keep us win one, lose one, win one, lose one till May, and then you get a proper manager in. I don't want another interim manager. I don't want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to be sacked tomorrow and Carrick gets the job. Because what if he wins 10 games? Carrick's at the wheel and we make the same mistake. I don't want any of that. I want the next manager to come in now, but I don't think that's possible. But there's no coming back from that. There's no coming back from that. Win at the weekend and then, you know, maybe we beat Wolves, whatever. But that's not going to get forgotten, is it? We're not going to forget these results now. I mean, we've lost with the amount of games we've lost this season. And I don't care what anybody says. Maybe there's somebody out there saying it's not Ollie's fault. I'm sorry. I would love to jump on that. But that's Burnley. Like, name me a player in that Burnley team that on paper gets into our team tonight. It doesn't. You know, all right, Phil Jones is a bit shit. But none of their players really get into our team. They're just massively underperforming. You should win that game no matter what. You should win that game no matter what. On which I will do the player ratings, of course. But I'm furious. You know what? I'm absolutely furious tonight. But I don't think I've ranted as much as I have on other things. Because I think, unfortunately, they are actually drowning our hopes and our expectations. They are trying to drag us down to a level that we never should be at. And I can't wait to see the fan cams because I can't wait to see what people have got to say. So subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We've got them coming in. Player ratings tonight. I mean, can you blame De Gea for either of those goals? I'd give him a 6. I mean, their second goal was just brilliant, but, you know, what can I say about that? Wan-Bissaka, I'd give him a 6. I mean, nobody's getting better than a 6. I'm sorry, it's Burnley. Nobody's getting better than a 6. I'll tell you that now. Wan-Bissaka could have had 3 goals, 3 assists today. Phil Jones, I don't think Phil Jones actually did anything wrong. I'll give him a 6. Harry Maguire, 4. You could blame him for the second goal, but it was a great goal. You can definitely blame him for the first goal. Shit. Absolutely terrible. I'm sorry. Terrible marking of Wood on the first goal. He should not be letting that happen. Brandon Williams, I'd give him a 6. I thought he was subbed way too early. I don't even understand. I don't even understand that substitution. We're losing 2-0. We sub a left-back for a left-back, and we don't bring Angel Gomez on. I don't even get that. I can't even get on the page of that, but it doesn't surprise me because the coaching's terrible. Matic, I actually thought was one of our better players. I'd give him a 6. Fred, 5. Very wasteful in the final third. Didn't seem to know what to do in the final third. I thought Matic was better in the final third than Fred tonight, so I didn't think he was very good. Mata, 5. He's got to score that free kick. We pay 150 grand a week. That's like a penalty to him. He's got to score that free kick. Didn't create anything. Matt is the guy who's meant to unlock a defence. Did sod all in the last 20 minutes. Had plenty of the ball. Couldn't pick a pass. Crap. Not very good. Dan James, another 4 for me. Again, I didn't even notice Dan James' second half. Much the same as Liverpool. I've got to say, though, I feel massively sorry for Dan James. I really do. He was bought for £15 million from the Championship, and just like Marcus Rashford, and just like Harry Maguire, and just like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's been overused. He will be injured soon. He's been absolutely run into the ground. He was bought from the Championship, and when we bought him, everyone was like, that's a weird signing, but for £15 million, it's worth a punt. You get him in the team, he comes off the bench every now and again, starts a few games, let's see how he goes in his first season. Oh no, forget about that. No. He's not a punt from the Championship. He's a first teamer now. He's playing every bloody week. He said himself a month ago in an interview, I didn't expect to play this much, which was a nice way of him saying, I shouldn't be playing this much, I need a rest. But no, play him every bloody week. Even though he's playing crap, keep playing him. I feel sorry for him, and he ain't playing very well. And Anthony Martial, it pains me to do this because he's my favourite player, but I will not be biased. 3. Worst player on the pitch, Anthony Martial today. He's got to score one of those chances. I thought his movement wasn't very good. His build-up play wasn't very good. He's my favourite player. He's my favourite player, Anthony Martial, but I will not... And I did it against Everton. I did it towards the end of last season with him as well. If you play crap, you can't hide behind the fact that I like you. You know, this is what matters more than anything. This is what we're talking about tonight. Manchester United Football Club, the badge. That's what we're talking about tonight. These players will come and go. The managers will come and go. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will always be a legend. None of this lot will. None of these players are going to be legends. 1 or 2 of them might be, but they're not going to... You know, we've been spoilt with legends over our time. You know, people like Patrice Evra, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, they're sort of... There's tiers to our legends. You know, there's gold star legends within our club over the last 20 years. There's people like Roy Keane and there's Scholes and there's Giggs and there's Beckham, but there's tiers to our legends. Well, there's tiers to these lot because they ain't going to be legends. They just make you cry. They're not. We've got no legends at the moment. We've not had any for years. Maybe David De Gea, but you know you've got to be doing stuff. We're a disgrace. We're an absolute bloody disgrace. And the players should own those player ratings and say, yeah, I am a disgrace. I am a disgrace. So my man of the match tonight is irrelevant. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'm sorry, you're getting your lowest score ever. A 2 out of 10. Joke. Absolute joke. How can your team losing at Old Trafford create sod all in the second half? Ridiculously crap coaching. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. You know, sometimes I've moaned in the past and I've thought, have I gone too far? I've not gone too far tonight. No way have I gone too far. I could have gone a lot worse. I could have bloody killed myself. I could have given myself a bloody high blood pressure on how angry I could get. But, you know, I leave that to the fan cams and you lot, because I'm just... Pereira, bloody Pereira. I've forgotten Pereira. Well, actually, Anthony Martial, you've been saved, because he's having a 2. Why was he... I mean, this is something for Solskjaer for you. Over the last year, we've seen Jesse Lingard play again and again and again and again and again. All right, he's on the bench. But Jesse Lingard comes on again. Why didn't Angel Gomez come on instead of Lingard? Lingard's crap. He's a waste of space. He's rubbish. And he's been proven to be rubbish for a year. And he comes on instead of Gomez again. Why does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer keep picking crap players? Pereira was dreadful against Liverpool, but he starts tonight in a must-win game. Like, what sort of coaching is that? He doesn't get it. He's out of his depth. He's so out of his depth. He picks players who played crap in the last game and doesn't pick players who didn't play in that game who deserve to start. Like, Greenwood should have started tonight. The team that was the team at the start of the second half should have been the team at the start of the game. It should have been Greenwood, James and Martial as a front three, with Mata as the number 10. But he picks Pereira and he puts Mata on the right wing. Mata is slower than a dead relative. Like, he is not a right winger. He should have been playing at number 10. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer just continually picks players who've been crap. Like, Pereira saved you, Martial. He was the worst player on the pitch. But you know, I could digest that performance plenty of times. But ultimately, the way that Burnley beat us wasn't rocket science. Burnley didn't suddenly turn up and start playing wing play or overlapping fullbacks or triangle pep football. It was Burnley, as we know, Stoke 2020. Long ball into the box, win the first ball and win the second ball. Rodriguez's goal was pretty damn good. You know, I'll give him that. But you've got to accept that in a game. You can't... If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer comes out after that game and says, well, it's at 1-0, we can get back into it, but that second goal is such a good goal, that's not normally going to happen. He's a professional footballer paid to play football. He's got the ability to score from there, and he did it. But, look, I go back to what I said at the start. This football club is dying. It's going to get the last rites very, very quickly. Something needs to change, and too many Manchester United fans are divided. I hate you because of this. I don't like you because of this. Look, I will openly say the United Stand will communicate with anybody. You know, whether it's fanzines, whether it's the Red Army, whether it's Must, whatever. We will engage with anybody to make change at Manchester United because it's that serious now. It cannot be about, we don't like you because we've been going longer. We don't like you because we don't like fan cams. This has all got to stop. Our club is in jeopardy. And it's, you know, maybe the manager does get sacked, but I still think we'll be back here in a year's time saying, oh, let's change another manager. This is bigger than this now. We have got to make change at Manchester United Football Club from the very top all the way through. It's got to change because we're better than this. We're much better than this. And where we are now, it's not a joke. It's not like Arsenal fans who just rant about bloody, you know, a bad back pass. This is Manchester United Football Club. It's gradually getting worse and worse and worse. It's sad. It's scary. It's got to stop. And I cannot emphasise that enough. We must unite. Manchester United fans must unite now. There cannot be any doubts. The coach ain't good enough. The players ain't good enough. But ultimately, we're not going to get anywhere with this ownership. And I think we can all agree that the owners and Woodward are the people who've got to go. They've got to go. Ollie's got to go. I agree with that. But changing Ollie won't actually change what's going on above. It's got to change. And look, I can see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer here and I can't hear what he's saying. And I'm devastated. I'm absolutely devastated looking at him because I know he's devastated. He's a fan of the fucking club. He's a legend of the club. He ain't good enough for the job. He's not good enough for the job. And I feel bad for him. But ultimately, the real problem at this club is what's going on upstairs. They're the real problem. They're the real thing. And they're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to go anywhere. They'll try and appease us. I mean, they're employing bloody Neil Ashton from The Sun and from Sunday Supplement as a PR expert. Well, I'd love to see what you're going to do with this, Neil. Because what I want is Ed Woodward in a fucking room. Not to beat him up or anything like that. I want him in a room with real fans talking about what's really going on at that club. Where it's not, I'll answer this, I'll answer that. Screw you, who are you? President of what? You're an ex-banker who don't support this club. I want you in a room talking to the fans about what's going on at our club. Because this is a bloody disgrace. An absolute disgrace. Look, I've had my say. I could go on all night. Thanks for watching. Please do smash a like on the video. But if this is real now, this is not an odd bloody losing to Huddersfield away or Cardiff at home, and let's see what happens next season. This is real. This is real damage destroying our football club, and fans need to stop arguing amongst themselves and realise we're all on the same page. The club at the top isn't good enough, and look, the Glazers may be able to allow Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be fucking, inconsistent, but this is Manchester United Football Club. We've had the Busby Babes, we've had 68, we've had 99, we've had success, we've got history. This is people's lives. It's a bloody religion. You're not just going to get through years of, just ignore them, we're still making the money. No. We've got to be better than that. We've got to change this. They've got to listen, or they've got to get out, because this is enough. Enough is enough. Thanks for watching. Smash a like. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Fan cams are incoming.